President Biden once again pinning the surge of migrants at our southern border on the Trump administration. But the former head of Homeland Security says Biden's attempt to blame his department for the ongoing crisis is, quote, a pure lie. Former acting DHS Secretary and Heritage Foundation visiting fellow Chad Wolf joins us now. So thank you, Chad, for being with us this morning. So he's pinning it on you. He's pinning it on former administration officials in the Trump administration, saying you didn't share information. Is that true?
Well, absolutely it is not. As I indicated, that is a false statement and is a lie to the American people. What we know is we gave the transition over 200 different briefings. A lot of that did have to do with immigration and border security. They had all the information. I briefed them myself. They had all the information that they need. And I don't think there's ever been any statement other than the president himself that has indicated that DHS wasn't completely transparent on all the information that we gave them during that transition. So to have the president come out now to try to justify the crisis on the southern border by saying they were given virtually nothing by the Department of Homeland Security, as I indicated, is just an outright lie. There is no facts, there is no data to back that up at any point.
Chad, the entire exchange between President Biden and Craig Melvin there begins to be an admission that there's a serious problem at the border. Unwilling to call it a crisis, saying it needs urgent action, but even pointing the finger, right? Even pointing it suggests there's a problem. It's just not our fault. It's somebody else's fault. But later in the interview, he said it's getting better. Is that true? Is it getting better at the southern border?
No, absolutely not. So again, a number of misstatements and again, lies during that interview. One, he says they inherited a grossly broken system or to that notion. Again, absolutely not the case. What we know is that that border was secure and it was under control, and the numbers bear that out coming into Inauguration Day. And with the stroke of a pen, in about 10 days, President Biden and the administration broke all of those policies and programs down, and we have the surge and the crisis that we see today. Then he goes on to say, well, we think we've gotten it under control. Again, you have over 170,000 illegal apprehensions in the month of March alone, likely that same number in April once those numbers come out. Nothing about that is under control. In addition, you're limiting ICE from picking up over 50% of dangerous criminals and other folks who need to be deported and removed from this country. So there is no sense of the word that this is under control. It continues to be a crisis. The administration is not serious about enforcing the rule of law, and they're trying to talk their way around it and trying to blame it on the previous administration, and that's where I draw a line.
Right.
We put a number of policies and some procedures in place to protect the American people, and we need to be clear about what we did and how the current administration is trying to describe that.
Chad, with President Biden playing the blame game in that interview, I think it's also fair to say in that moment, during that exchange, you could see some real insecurity, some vulnerability, some recognition this is not a strong issue for us. That bears out, by the way, in the polling, where it shows that Americans are very displeased with the handling of the border. With all of that, really quickly here with us, do you expect a change in approach from the Biden administration to handling the border?
Unfortunately, I don't. I think they've painted themselves politically in a corner by tearing down what they know works. We went through an exhaustive process throughout the Trump administration once we didn't have any help from Congress on trying to decide what we could do through our own authorities. And we did that. And again, the Biden administration tore this down. And so it's very concerning, but I don't see this changing. I will just say that the facts are on our side, meaning the American people know that this is a crisis. And it doesn't matter what kind of description the president and others say, it's a crisis.
That's absolutely true. All right, Chad, appreciate your time this morning. Thanks so much for setting the record straight.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Thanks for watching the Heritage Foundation's YouTube channel. With more than 500,000 members, we are the nation's largest conservative research and education institution. We believe the principles and ideas of the American founding are worth conserving and renewing. Please help us further our mission by subscribing to this channel and sharing our videos with your family and friends.